Nobody will actually state that at this point, but there are always situations ready and battle plans ready just in case something were to happen. You know, this has been warned for quite some time. It's just a matter of when it would take place, and it took place today.
Jack Kelly, foreign correspondent for USA Today, who has covered several wars and has just returned from Israel where there was a car bombing. He is reporting that the #1 suspect is Osama.
Yeah, here's one of the guys who can tell you I'm okay, all right? Here, hold on. You want to call your mother or something?
You gotta get back something. You know that, you gotta get back.
All right.
It just went ba-boom. It was like a bomb went off. And it was like holy hell coming down them stairs. And then when we finally got to the bottom, they were coming out on a mezzanine level there, and another explosion came right from it, because everyone flying right in front of you. Everything just went boom.
All of a sudden I heard a roar, and I saw one of the towers blow and then collapse and fill the horizon with smoke, and I yelled, "Oh my God!" And I saw from street level, as though it had exploded up, a giant rolling ball of flame, and the firefighters screamed, "Run!" And I turned to run, but I fell, and I felt someone scoop me up, tell me to throw my high heels off, and I was running in my stocking feet with him. And finally, as we ran and ran, he slammed me into a wall and covered my body with his. I could feel his heart beating against my backbone. And I think both of us were sure we were dead, because there was no way you could run fast enough, and there was no way to avoid it. But somehow we escaped the flame, which was immediately followed by a storm of debris. We were breathing, it felt like giant particles of plaster, and there was smoke, so that if you tried to put your hand out in front of you, you couldn't really see it. It was the thickest, most intense particle and smoke I've ever been in. And somewhere along the line, the firefighter handed me off to a New York police officer. The thing that struck me, though, was that I didn't see many wounded people in the street, which led me to believe, at least where I was by the Trade Center, they had never even gotten out of the building. I thought I was going to die. It is as close as I've ever come as a reporter to thinking I was going to die.
Another big explosion in the other tower. Flames coming out in this billowing grey smoke. People still not panicking. People not quite understanding what was going on. Then somebody said that they saw an airliner go into one of those towers. Then, I don't know, an hour later than that, we had that big explosion from much lower. I don't know what.
One of the fire department teams found them, but we didn't think they were going to make it.
Well, certainly you got out, Nick.
Well, me and Mr. Hesh, the corporation counsel, were on the 23rd floor. I told him we got to get out of here. We started walking down the stairs. We made it to the 8th floor. Big explosion. Blew us back into the 8th floor. And I turned to Hesh. I said, "This is it. We're dead. We're not going to make it out of here." I took a fire extinguisher and I bust the window out. That's when this gentleman here heard my cries for help. This gentleman right here, and he kept saying, "Stand by, somebody's coming to get you." They couldn't get to us for an hour because they couldn't find us.
Okay, it's now the base of the World Trade Center. There seems to be now a second area there of smoke, so perhaps indicating that some sort of explosion or fire.
We just heard another explosion. They're handing out gloves and masks. The consensus is it's too unsafe to go in there. They won't let me go any closer. No one can go in to get the people out. There's small explosions still going on.
And I don't know what my peers are. I don't know. I hope to God they're okay. That's all I can say. I don't know what. We saw a shadow. It looked like a plane. Next thing we know, it was boom, boom, and the floor started shaking. And then we saw debris fall down. And next thing we know, we had to get out of the building. We stuck on the stairs for a while. We finally got down to the lobby. Then we get to the lobby. There was this big explosion.
And then all of a sudden it started like it sounded like gunfire. You know, bang, 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 bang. And then all of a sudden 3 big explosions.
Yeah, where were you? I was in the 22nd floor, one murder center. How did you, oh my God. Pardon? How did you get out? Oh
we wait until second blast because we have to make sure that the people are out also. Almost all the people were out. We opened the doors and everything. And make sure the stairs doors are open so people can get out easily. Fire department was working with us. But after the second blast, everything was so dark. We decided we have to go out. And I was waiting outside to make sure that our team workers are okay. But in the third blast, I couldn't even breathe, so I had to get out.
What do we know about a third blast? I don't even know.
The building fell, I think. I guess so, yeah.
Oh my God.
It was so much dust. I was like 3 blocks away, and after that, so dark and I can't even breathe.
Rick Sanchez has been there throughout this morning for us. Rick, tell us where you are and what the latest is.
Well, I'm in that area, if you're familiar with this area, of where West Broadway and Hudson come together right at Chambers. That would put us about a block and a half away from the site of where the explosion was. That area has just been evacuated because police have found what they describe as a suspicious device, and they fear that it might be something that could lead to another explosion. Obviously, there's a real sense of caution here on the part of police. I spoke with some police officials moments ago, Chris, and they told me that they have reason to believe that one of the explosions at the World Trade Center, aside from the ones that may have been caused by the impact of the plane with the building, may have been caused by a van that was parked in the building that may have had some type of explosive device in it. So their fear is that there may have been explosive device planted either in the building or in the adjacent area, and that's why they're being so cautious.
Dave, let's take a look now at more of the chaos, the confusion, the sights and sounds in New York, in Manhattan this morning when the tragedy struck.
Corner of the 82nd floor. I heard a noise like a sonic boom almost, and then a blast. The building swayed, shook a little bit. I saw papers coming fly out of the middle of the building, and then we went to the staircase to try to get down. We were going down. We got stuck on one floor because the door and the staircase wouldn't even open. So we went back onto the floor through some fire. We saw some fire and rubbish, and we went to the other staircase to come down. We made it all the way downstairs. And then when we were just about to come out of the building, there was another blast, and all the lights went out, and this is what happened then.
The glass came down?
We didn't see we were still inside the building. All we heard was a big blast, and the whole volume of air moved. And we came out through the subway.
Well, good to see you. What are your injuries? Have they told you?
The only thing I have is I have a little cut on my hand. That's about it. So I was real lucky. I don't know what happened to the people behind me when that blast occurred.
We've heard reports of secondary explosions after the aircraft impacted, whether in fact there wasn't something else at the base of the towers that in fact were the coup de grace to bring them to the ground.
At 10:30 I tried to leave the building, but as soon as I got outside I heard a second explosion and another rumble and more smoke and more dust. I ran inside the buildings, the chandelier shook, and again black smoke filled the air. Within another 5 minutes, we were covered again with more silt and more dust. And then a fire marshal came in and said we had to leave because if there was a third explosion, this building might not last. The streets of the financial district covered with debris, in some cases ankle deep. Cars on fire, cars just turned by the force of the explosions. It was like something no one had ever seen.
As we were getting our gear on and making our way to the stairway, there was a heavy-duty explosion. New York's bravest never had a chance.
We really never even got that close to the building. The explosion blew and it knocked everybody over.
We made it outside. We made it about a block. We made it at least 2 blocks, and we started running. Floor by floor, it started popping out.
It was if they had detonated.
Yeah, detonated.
They were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
All the way down. I was watching it and running.